She stood in the doorway like she wasn't sure if she should come in or turn around and run. Her hands were trembling, fingers tightening and loosening around the strap of her purse. It wasn't like her to look so fragile. She was always the strong one, the one who laughed the loudest, solved problems the fastest, hid her worries the deepest. But tonight she looked different. Smaller, quiet, broken in a way she was trying hard not to show. She said, "Can you give me a hug?" Her voice cracked right in the middle, like she wasn't just asking for a hug but permission to fall apart. I stepped forward without thinking, my voice soft. "My arms have always been open for you." She blinked once, slow, heavy, and then it happened. She collapsed into me. Not physically collapsing, but emotionally. The kind of hug that isn't really a hug at first, just a desperate grip on someone who feels like home when the world feels too heavy. Her arms went around me tightly, her face buried against my chest. I wrapped my arms around her, feeling how cold her hands were, how warm her tears were as they soaked through my shirt. Hey, I whispered. "You're okay, I've got you." Her breath shook against me, every inhale uneven, every exhale like she was trying to push out memories she hated. I didn't ask what happened. Not yet. Sometimes questions bruise worse than silence. She held on like she'd been waiting years for someone to hold her like this. "I'm sorry," she whispered finally, voice muffled. "I shouldn't have, I know it's late. I know I shouldn't come here like this." "You can come to me at any time," I said softly. "Even if it's 3 a.m., even if you don't say a word." She took a trembling breath, her fingers clutching the back of my shirt. I didn't know where else to go. "Then you came to the right place." She finally loosened her grip just enough to look up at me. Her eyes were red, glistening, tired, but in a way that made me want to guard her from every sharp edge in the world. "Can we sit?" she whispered. I guided her to the couch, but she didn't let go of my hand. She sat first, then gently tugged me beside her. Our hands stayed locked together, her thumb brushing the edge of my palm as though afraid the moment I let go, the world would shatter again. "What happened?" I asked quietly. She hesitated, then the words came slowly, fragilely. "I had a panic attack at home. I tried to call my mom. She didn't answer. I tried my best friend. She's out of the country. I tried to calm myself, but my chest kept hurting and my thoughts just wouldn't stop." Her voice cracked again. "I kept thinking, who do I have? Who can I run to? And your name was the only one in my head, the only one that felt safe." Something warm and painful twisted inside my chest. "You made the right choice," I said. "I thought you'd be asleep." "For you," I said quietly, "never." She looked at me like she was seeing a part of me she hadn't noticed before, something gentle, something soft, something hers. She wiped her eyes with the sleeve of her sweater. "I don't know what's wrong with me. I hate feeling weak." "You're not weak," I said. "You're human and you're allowed to fall apart. That's why I'm here." She leaned into me again, closer this time, letting her head rest on my shoulder. I put an arm around her, pulling her gently into my side. She melted into the warmth, her breathing slowly stabilizing, the tension uncoiling from her shoulders. "You always do that," she whispered. "Do what?" "Make everything feel safe, calm, like I don't have to pretend I'm strong all the time." "You never have to pretend with me." She didn't speak for a long moment. She just breathed, steady and soft. My hand rested on her back, moving slowly, rhythmically, grounding her. She closed her eyes. "You know what's crazy?" she murmured. "What?" "I wanted this, even before tonight," she hesitated. "I wanted your arms, your comfort, you." My heart stuttered in my chest. "You did." She nodded slightly, her temple brushing my jaw. "Yeah, but I was scared. What if you didn't feel the same? What if you pulled away?" "I wouldn't," I whispered. "What if I needed you too much? Then I'd hold you tighter." She lifted her head, her face inches from mine, her breath warm, her eyes soft, vulnerable, searching. "You mean that?" she whispered. My arms have always been open for you, I said again, this time slower, deeper. Not just tonight, every night, every moment you need me. She touched my cheek gently, her fingertips warm and trembling. Then, can I stay here tonight? Not for anything else, just because I don't want to be alone. You can stay, I whispered, as long as you want. She leaned in, resting her forehead against mine. Her breath shook, but it wasn't fear this time. It was relief. Can you hold me? She whispered. I already am. She curled up against me on the couch, her arms wrapped around me, my hand resting on her back. Her breathing softened. Her body relaxed. And as she melted into the safety of my arms, she whispered the softest, most fragile confession. I think I was waiting for you, long before tonight. I kissed the top of her head, gentle and slow. And I'm right here, I said. I'm not going anywhere. She fell asleep like that, wrapped in me, finally at peace. And I stayed awake, holding her, realizing that I would have done anything, to keep her safe in my arms. She slept in my arms like she hadn't slept peacefully in a long time. Her breathing was slow, her face calm, her fingers loosely curled into the fabric of my shirt. I didn't move. I didn't even try. It felt like the first time she had allowed herself to be vulnerable, and I wasn't going to risk breaking that trust. But after a while she stirred lightly, shifting against me with a soft sigh. Her eyes fluttered open, hazy and still sleepy, and for a moment she didn't seem to remember where she was. Then she saw me. Saw my arms around her, saw how close we were. And instead of pulling away, she moved closer. She whispered, voice soft from sleep, "You're still here. I told you I wouldn't go." She blinked slowly, warmth returning to her eyes. "I must have fallen asleep on you, I'm sorry." "Don't be," I said gently. "It was nice." Her lips curved upward slightly, the faintest smile, the kind that made my chest tighten in a way I wasn't prepared for. "What time is it?" she murmured against my shoulder. "Almost 3 a.m. And you stayed awake. I didn't want you to wake up alone and panic again." She went still, her breath caught. Then she looked up at me with this expression, soft, almost disbelieving, almost like she didn't understand why someone would care this much. "No one ever done that for me," she whispered. "They should have," I answered. "You deserve that and more." She exhaled shakily, her fingers brushing my jaw as if she was trying to memorize how it felt. "You always say things like that." "Because they're true." Her gaze lingered on me. Then in a small, hesitant voice she asked, "Can we go to bed, together? Not like that, just, I want to fall asleep next to you properly, with your arms around me." "Of course." I stood up and helped her to her feet, her hand slipping into mine like it belonged there. She led me to her room, soft lights, blankets piled on the bed, warm colors that felt safe. She sat on the edge of the bed, pulling me a little closer. "You sure you're okay with this?" she asked. "I'm more than okay," I said. "I want you to feel safe." She nodded, almost shyly, then crawled under the blanket. I lay beside her, and without hesitation she curled right into me. Her head rested on my chest, her arm draped across my stomach, her legs brushing mine. It felt natural, too natural. After a few minutes she whispered, "Your heartbeat, it's calming. If it helps you sleep, I'll keep it steady just for you." She let out a soft laugh against my skin. "You're impossible." "I've been told." Then she went quiet again, fingers lightly drawing circles over my shirt. "I feel stupid for breaking down earlier." "Hey," I whispered, tilting her chin up gently. "Don't do that. You're allowed to need someone." "But I'm not used to needing anyone." "You don't have to do everything alone. Not anymore." Her eyes softened, and she pressed against me like she was trying to melt into the safety she'd finally found. "Can I tell you something?" she whispered. "Anything." When I was having that panic attack, all I could think was, "I wish you were here." I didn't want my mom or my friends. I wanted you, just you. My hand paused on her back. "And I didn't understand why," she continued. "But when you opened the door and I saw you, everything in me just broke, in a good way." I brushed a strand of hair from her face. "Maybe it's because you trust me." She nodded slowly. "I do, more than I should." I smiled softly. "Then trust me a little more. Let me stay. Let me hold you. Let me help you breathe again." She closed her eyes and leaned up, pressing her forehead to my cheek. "I'm scared this might mean more to me than it should." "Then we're both in trouble," I whispered, "because it means more to me too." Her breath caught again. She shifted, lifting her head so her face was inches from mine. Her voice dropped to a quiet, trembling whisper. "Can I kiss you?" I didn't answer with words. I cupped her face and leaned in slowly, gently, giving her every chance to pull away. She didn't. Her lips met mine softly at first, hesitant but warm. Then deeper, slower, like she finally felt safe enough to want something real. The kiss wasn't rushed or hungry. It was full of months of quiet feelings, of every moment she had been scared to reach out, of every time I wanted to hold her but didn't. When we finally pulled away, she rested her forehead against mine. "I don't know what this is," she whispered, "but I want more of it." "Then take all of me," I whispered back.